I apologise for the tardiness of my arrival, but I am here. It is midweek. It's Happy Hump Day, everybody, um, and welcome to, well, Wednesday Night Reaver. Um, Considering that we're working on some Reavers, it seemed appropriate. And well done, Tom, being first. Good move. Currently, I am just awaiting for the, the the models to sort of chill, because I've been spraying them rapidly. I'm actually quite shocked, because I picked up a can. I would have run out of Halford's Grey Primer, and they've definitely changed the formula. There's a different smell about it when using it, because obviously I go outside, spray, and that. But I think I just ducked back into the office a little bit too quickly, because there's definitely a bit of a smell. The fume had followed me in. So I'm probably slightly sort of high right now. So not bad. Not bad for a Wednesday night, I guess. But anyway, yes. So we'll be working on some AT88 dudes. So let's slot that over there. That's better. Yeah. So I got my love of Titans from AT88 all those years ago, and it was the Reaver Titan that and the Phantom Titan of the Eldari is what sort of drew me into giant stompy robots, and then obviously epic Space Marine and all that jazz, and that love affair with Reavers has never died, or Phantoms. Not that I own a Phantom. I used to own several epic Phantoms, but I only ever had one Reaver Titan, and obviously over the course of years I have what I call sort of hobby ending events, where I just used to just go, I'm not into this, and I gave away stuff, what I had at the time. So there was one in sort of like 1991 was the first one. So I'd been in the hobby about 5 years. I was obviously in my teen years then. I had discovered girls, but that wasn't what was behind it. I just basically just felt I'm not, I'm not with this anymore. I'm not really interested, and so I gave all my metal Marines, Terminators away to some guy who I can't even remember his name. I knew him through a drama group that I was treading the boards, or trying to tread the boards back then, and so yeah, I gave them away, and then I got back in again. Not that long after, really, I came back into it, and from there I stayed in for about another 5 years, to sort of 96. Yeah, about 96. And again, I gave all my stuff to my mate Mike. I said, yeah, you have it. All my epic stuff and everything else that I had as well. So that was the second sort of mass extinction of hobby. I've given away stuff since, like bits that I'm not, participating. Actually, to my partner's boy, I gave him a load of towel that I had because I was stockpiling towel, and he wanted to do towel, and I thought I'm not going to get round to this, so I passed them on. But since my return, because again that was about 2001, so it's like 5 years, I came back in when towel turned up. Funny enough, it was the towel that brought me back in, so it's all their fault. And I've been here ever since, consistently ever since. But fast forward to 2016, and I was running a Facebook hobby group called Games and Theory. I came up with a name purely off of the Starship Troopers movie. Carl! And from there, we were talking about Epic and stuff, and we decided that we would do an Epic project between like several people, a lot of the admins and some other people. And so again, hitting eBay, buying stuff, and that's just how it sort of evolved, really. I bought a load of like Space Marines, and I got myself a Reaver, this one. I got hold of some plastic Warlords as well, but then we heard news that AT was in development for Specialist Games, and that sort of project died. I've still got the bits, and obviously these Titans. This was a recent addition that I got from Ivy, because where she was getting rid of a load of her stuff, was emigrating to Japan. This was part of it, which was an added bonus. Right, so this here, the one with the missile pod on the arm, is going to be for Legio Gryphonicus, and this one, I haven't decided. It's going to be a traitor one, obviously. You've got to have one of each, like what I'm going to do with the Warlords. So he's going to be a traitor Reaver, but I haven't decided with who as of yet. I'm just looking for some paints to get started now. I know with I'm leaning more to painting the Gryphonicus as the Gryphonicus that I've done now, and not the retro scheme. Although I did do the retro scheme with that one. Oh, damn it! I might, yeah, I might fuck it. That's the technical term. Fuck it. Right. So you can stand up and just chill. Alright, don't stand up and be chill. Oh, that's your one there. That's fine. Right. So how is everybody anyway? Welcome to Hump Day. Technically 3 hump days left. Today, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, but that's next year, so we don't have to worry about that. So 2, this is the penultimate day of Humpiness of 2024. I'm just going to do this base because it's bugging me already. Just sitting there staring at me. So what are your plans for Christmas? What have you got in mind for 2025? Any projects that you're thinking of doing? And you know, what's your hobby futures, really? I know I've still got Titans to do. and I've also got my Dystopian Wars and Armoured Clash projects to be getting on with as well. But as I say, this is something that has been waiting several years, so sometimes you just got to go back to the beginning of any hobby pile and just get on it and get cracking. But it's a interesting thing working with like these older models and then comparing them to the newer models. You know, glow up is an understatement. You know, I love for nostalgia purposes. I love obviously the original Reavers, because it was the Reaver that was my favourite. It was again for like the Wayne England sketches in the books. Just drew my attention, and the head, that head is what brought me in fully. So it was written. It was written as soon as I'd seen it. But yeah, it's been a thing in my life for so long, and I've never really, or I painted my Reaver, but I haven't really painted my Reaver because I was like, you know, a kid, you know, and like obviously kids today in painting is next level. Like there are so many awesome young bloods out there, it's scary. But obviously back then we had less technical know-how, skill in general. But yeah, definitely changed because I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm using metal. I haven't used metal. Well, a couple of years. I painted some Oathsworn miniatures. Some of their little badgers and burrows, little critters. During lockdown. So obviously super glue. Spray paint does have a different reaction to different textures and materials, so maybe that's why it feels a bit odd. Maybe it's not. But they are so much smaller. So much smaller. The latest, obviously yesterday or the day before, I posted up the side by side on Instagram of the Warlord and the Warlord, the Beetleback Warlord in particular. Now, if I just get my, I'm just going to pull up the Adeptus not Adeptud, Titanicus War Griffin Reaver. Images. And looking through for, there it is. Right. Okay. So there's a lot of yellow there. Let's find a brush with what to work with. Hello, Francois Marion. Salute to you too. And how are we today? Well enough. Yes. Alive and not on fire. So if you look onto like Lexicanum, they have obviously for Legio Gryphonicus some of the old artwork of a Reaver Titan for the War Griffins, and that's what I'm copying currently. I am okay, thank you very much for asking, Francois. It's a bit windy outside present, but mustn't grumble is a key word. Got my health. I can still smell that bloody spray paint. I was, as I say, I was rushing around as you do. I thought I had more time, but I didn't have more time. I had less time, in fact. I'm also painting Legio Gryphonicus, but doing Titanicus models. Yeah, as I say, they are my Gryphonicus are my last Legio that I did for my collection. So they are a lovely scheme. So doing this feels weird. You know, I'm doing original colours. So the superstructure was yellow. So it's just so weird. Just doing all these bits and then I'll start painting, I guess. I have a video of my house walk within Cascade in my shorts. I'll be sure to check that out. So feel free to post a link up in the chat if anyone wants to give Foxhole a follow and like. I'm sure he would appreciate that. Thanks. could have painted this in sub-assemblies, I guess, but I never paint in sub-assemblies, so that was never an option. As the legendary Mark Bedford says, nobody's going to see it. I also did original colours. Oh, nice. Well, to be fair, then not a million miles off their current colours, apart from obviously the abundance of yellow on the superstructure. That's the main difference. No, there's no link in chat. Hold on, I'll check on the other chat. Because normally it would come up to whether or not to allow it, and I've got nothing on there. But anyway, if anyone go, I'm sure obviously you're under Foxhole Games anyway, so anyone watching, feel free to just nip over and give him a like, and then you can have a look at his War Griffins as well. Because there's nothing wrong with looking at Titans. Titans are beautiful things. And they need a lot of love, for they are so awesome. Get the other side as well. Oh, fuck. So altogether, Foxhole Games, okay? I've thinned the paint down a little bit because obviously doing the head, it's quite fine detail there, so I have to be careful. Ah, hello there, the Ben. And how are we tonight, Ben? My little Ben friend? Are you behaving yourself? What are you working on, you little devil? Share with the class now. One of those days all the time. A perpetual day. And hello, Fion. Greetings. How are you, buddy? Mars. So far, paints used was the, get that off of there. Dawnstone Air on top of the new Halfords Grey Primer, which I'm not 100% certain on at the moment. It's still a little bit, I don't know, not certain. I've been a huge fan of Halfords Grey Primer for many years, and this is new and different, and it scares me. The formula is changed. It's like sometimes there's been like innovations or things in the hobby which have been absolute freaking diamond useful things which are not hobby items, for example. So one of the big ones was the Flash cleaner spray. It used to be an awesome stripper of paint. You'd spray it over, let it, soak with all the bubbles and all that sort of stuff, and it took stuff off. It done what you wanted the paint stripper, and didn't smell too bad. Plus, it's antibacterial. But they changed it. And it wouldn't strip the paint anymore. So that was a bit of a Debbie Downer. And also Pledge varnish was great as a varnish for your when doing weathering, like oil weathering on Titans. You'd get some Pledge floor polish, stick it in your airbrush, and bosh, you were done. And that would give you, a good coat to then add your sort of oil paint weathering. But again, they changed the formula and it didn't do what you want it to do. It's like they know. Freaking annoying, to say the least. I'm on leave, but spent most of the afternoon and evening wrangling union stuff. Oh, bless you. And Merry Christmas, one and all, as well. Sorry, Fionn. I was going through the chat. No rest for the wicked, etc. And you are incredibly wicked. Not too bad, all things considered. That's it's a song I was listening to earlier on. I think it's by a band called Tism, an Australian band. So yeah, someone is always trying to cut corners, especially takeovers and the like. Absolutely. Now the problem I've got here is because you've got a front view of this particular Reaver Titan, I'm kind of assuming but this might be yellow because the hand's yellow, arms yellow. It's only like the legs, shoulder pads, and the carapace, which is grey. But there is a yellow rim on that. So, do we go yellow? What's the people's choice? Are we going yellow on the missile pod? I've got to do the feet. They're yellow too. Avalon sunset, slightly watered down. But so these Reavers in the old scale are still shorter than new scale Warhound Titan, and obviously not as bulky in comparison, which is kind of bonkers. Anyone? Well, that's much better. Right. I've got to do these, but I'm going to save these bits until after I've done the modelling. And it's only, strangely, it's only these which are yellow compared to the rest. Brushes, more brushes. Give me brushes. I did get these little pennants sent through with my purchase of Reaver Titan. Decals, original decals, my god. Crazy. More God engines for the battlefield, that's what I like to hear, Fionn. We crave Titans. I might have to actually change tact here. Boob shaker. I need to prime some Battletech stuff, I think. Weather's just been shite lately. Yes. So both of them. It has been shite, and yes, you do. So I'm using a base paint just to cover, because the air paint doesn't cover the yellow that well. Though I have to admit that as much as I like Titans, I'm more of a battle automator man. And that's fine. I love a battle automator as well. Automata. I was actually listening to Oculus Imperium's one of his videos concerning the Imperial Fists and Mars. So this is basically during the death of Innocence, and you know, where it all goes like tits up for loyalists in general on the Red Planet. So it's a good sort of 40-minute video. So it goes through, you know, Sigismund, Candor Diaz, Lucas Krom, and the obviously what happened to loyalist Martians, and the appearance of some naughty things. So it's definitely worth a listen to. There's another actually video I also watched straight after that, which was about the Second World War and the mosquito, which was actually quite interesting. It was an American YouTuber, and he was been looking into the de Havilland mosquito. I do like watching these American reaction videos where you get these people say, "Oh, we didn't know that you did this," sort of thing. Yeah, you did. At least you're making progress on the painting. My plastic crack is looking at me reproachfully again. It always does that, Fionn. Always does that. Across a crowded room, you catch a side eye of a pile of plastic. It's dramatic. Guilting you into painting. Sometimes it's deservedly so, but not all the time. That don't really matter. I take solace from the fact that a single brushstroke counts as progress. That is true. You know, you have to start somewhere, and you just keep on going, keep moving, heading towards the goal. It doesn't matter how long it takes. These are taking 7 years to get to this stage. Well, this one has anyway. I have partially complete Gulliman, though had just the sword and helmet to go, I think. And Master Chief from Halo on the bench at the moment. Abominable intelligence and demonic engines on the rampage. Yes. Amongst other things. Right. Okay, yeah, right, I'm going to go yellow. Or, no, I'm not going to go yellow. Not going to go yellow. No. I'm going to have another look. Have a look. Because it might be a bit too much with that yellow. So, no, I won't on that occasion. Alright. I will do the trim though. Now, Mechanicum is one of my favourite heresy books. And it's just one of those things where you've got Mars is literally sitting there throughout the entirety of the Horus Heresy, just blockaded, and they're doing their own thing down there. Right. Lurking, be right back. Yeah, no worries, buddy. Right. Right, okay. One colour we have to do is the blue, because they have these top sections are blue. We need more Mechanicum, Dark Mechanicum models, both for HH and Legions Imperialis. Yes. We do at that. You have to I'm sure that like in HH you'll, because plastic myrmidons ain't a thing yet, are they? So they should be coming out. We've got plastic Phylaxi, so that's already a good thing. I love Phylaxi. So if we've got Phalanxi, we should get Ursarax as well. We've already got Castellax. So it's like Domitars. We've got Plastic Thanators as well, haven't there? So I'm not sure if they'll do like the Silax or Skylax, the Guardian Automator. Little squiddies. Got about 15, 16 of them. My squiddies was used to frequent the Forge World page for squiddies. We used to have like when they just show off like people's painted versions, and mine was like one of the first ones up there, which was nice. Hey, my squiddies! Phalanx are one of my favourite designs. Yeah, when they first came out, back, you know, with the original Betrayer, or Betrayal, sorry, the first Black Book, and the Phalanx are in there, and I thought, oh bloody hell, they've got 3 wounds, and they've got jump packs. They've got jet packs, isn't it? So jump packs are Space Marines, jet packs are Tau. So jumping forward and back, quite handy. But it used to be, I'd always go with the lightning guns and heavy chain blade, because then they were strength 7. So strength 7, free wound, jet troop. So mobile, and the although it was one shot, the lightning gun was strength 7. Well, it was AP 5, but still, strength 7 is not to be laughed at, because you're wounded on 2s. GW has really wasted Forge World's potential. The thing is, yeah, it's like, for the Heresy nowadays, they're having it so much better than they did originally, because you've got bundles and bundles of plastic kits. Because as soon as they go mainstream, because that's the thing, Forge World were always the creators and bespoke modelers of stuff that gets mentioned in stories, but they don't actually have a model for. But you know, when those early Marine armies where people were buying 5 Space Marines for like 25 quid. So the plastic people are now paying that now, sort of 12 years later. But the Heresy lot have been doing that since 2012. And then obviously, you know, Terminators and, you know, the specialist troops, where you get like, I remember the Mordathan, because the Mordathan were the first specialist troops they brought out for the Raven Guard, and they were £50 for a pack. So all the other sort of like, you know, like Palatine Blades and not Red Butchers, but, you know, anything in power armor that was a specialized troop infantry unit were 35 quid. But Mordathan were 50 quid because they got sniper rifles. And at the time, sniper rifles weren't the best weapon to give them. So then you've got to buy other weapons, because you could have combi weapons. So it just escalated from there. Hey, good evening, Jess Idaho. How are you, buddy? How you been? But I think with Forge World, it was always capacity is the problem. Whereas now you can get, you know, those boxes of 20 Astartes in Mark 3, Mark 6 sort of thing. Mark 4? So, and like the weapons upgrade packs as well, you know, one box you can do loads of bloody units, whereas beforehand you'd spend a small fortune getting all of that together in resin. But and that's the problem with working with resin as well. Quality control. Whereas you start doing it in plastic, you can mass produce it and generally not have too many problems with it. Whereas you was always getting, you know, resin has its drawbacks, unfortunately. What are you working on, JS? And anyone else? We know what Fion's got his Titan loving, even though he's looking at his pile of grey shame. And obviously Ben, when he was here, he might be lurking, still is lurking, he said. He was doing Gulliman's sword, apparently. Filthy boy. Right. Speak of the devil, I return. There you go. And Francois was working on Eldar. Nice. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was talking about, like, with Eldar, I know we've got all these like new kits coming out and all these new sculpts and stuff, but I was saying that the warp scorpions, sorry, not warp spiders, I personally still think their models hold up. Compared to the looks of like Imperial Guard stuff and all that jazz. I still think they look pretty good for like 30 years almost. Doing some decals for tomorrow's shorts. Nice. Damn it, if only I had something I could use that was like a pen-like grip where I could sponge stuff. If only I could, if there was something out there. I just wish someone would actually invent something and give it some really cool, catchy name. Like Sponger, Sponge Buddy. Take my painting to the next level. I could have done a Kickstarter for something like 30 odd quid. unfortunately, he's not going to show up that well on the camera. If only I had that tool. Thanks for it was my wife's idea, and she thinks it's cute. Oh, working on a gross gets model for a tree. Oh, they'd say that is cool. Cool. I call mine the Spong Ho. Dirty slut. I just need to rim the bases on James R. And it's got a Banshee's gold ponytails for the Wraith Guard. Nice. And do their soul stones and rim the base of the Banshee Wraith Lord. Still need to build their the best service to the community that he ever made was being such a generous sort of memes. They're wave surfing that time. Well, Legio, this is old style Gryphonicus. So the original paint scheme that you would seen in Codex Titanicus, because they didn't turn up till the second book. Where they had introduced, started introducing Eldar and Orcs. Oh, pardon moi. Didn't mean to batter the camera. So I'm using stippling to add just a little bit more speckle, but in a lighter colour to the rest. Could I do a size comparison? Well, luckily for you, we have one right next to it. So, old style. And Iracundus itself has popped in to say, "Hi guys." So there is a significant difference in size. So that's up to its hips. So it's at least two, I'd say 2.5 Reavers tall in the old style. So there you go. I may have a box of Titans by my left leg. They're there, loitering. Right, what do I need? Right. I need some washes for shower. Wash. Paint. I've got one. I need. Where's the bloody gnome? There you are. Yeah. There is a sizable difference there for sure. Mahusive. So if you saw the post from the other day when I put up the Warlord and the Beetleback Warlord, it's just like, oh my god. That's the thing with new AT stuff. Now, I know there's lots of fans of the original Epic, but once you see those kits, see how impressive they are, you can't help but love them even more. Mark, do you have the Titanicus War Griffins transfer sheet? Yes. Well, for not the original one, but obviously the one for 80, the recent 80, yes. I made sure to get hold of that once I saw that they were in stock. And that's what I've been using on my dudes. Blah, blah, blah. I only got the one because I was only doing the one um, battle maniple. So at the moment, because I'm still building up on my stuff, if I had spare, yes, it wouldn't be a problem, mate. Because I'd done that for another friend who was after Ignatum, and I had multiple Ignatums. So I was sold in that, but unfortunately I only grabbed the one because I knew that I weren't going to need more than that, if you know what I mean. So sorry, I can't help you on that one, unfortunately, this time. If I hear of anyone who has got some, I'll let you know. I'll forward them your way. Apart from that, although they don't show them on, they might be out of stock online. If you know somebody going up to Warhammer World, always get them to ask behind the desk because they have their own supplies. The amount of times I've got hold of decal sheets which aren't in stock in the online store, and they had them there. Not promising anything, but you never know. So if you know someone who's going over there, get on them. Oh, bloody hell. We've had leakage. Let's let that dry a little bit. I'm going to just do some Tyrant Skull. Speaking of, sorry, not making it epic was a huge foul in my opinion. No Elder Phantoms. Sorry, can't invest. But the thing is, Epic, Eldar, and Orcs didn't come out straight away either. GW as a business, they're going to pump what they can out of their heresy, and then when figures start taking a nosedive, then they'll go with Eldari and Orcs. There's no rush because people are still buying what they're buying. But then obviously it depends on how well Legions does. If Legions doesn't pull it in, then it might not get that stage, and that's the problem. The other problem is obviously where 3D printing, because if people are printing off their own stuff, GW sees this. They know people do it. Their members are a part of the internet. They might just go, do we bother? If we're going to make all this investment, do we bother with that? We'll just do our own things. So, yeah, it's all dependent. Money makes the world go round, unfortunately. And if there's interest, then they make it. It's how we got the Warlord Titan in 28mm. They kept on asking questions, and they kept on asking, who would be interested in a 28mm Warlord at events, seminars, and stuff like that. And people talk about it and ask about it, and eventually they go, all right, I think there is grounds for it. Then they make it. You know? But, you know, if they do go down that line with Orcs and Eldar eventually, I'll still get some stuff, you know, because you've got to have someone to fight against. That's not just, you know, other Titan Legios. But the reason why AT in particular works well is because you're up against the same thing. When you start introducing like other things that aren't the same, then yes, it gives you variety, but then you get 40k, where it's not always going to be balanced and stuff, unless they have a rule set, which they do have rule sets, because James Hewitt done rules for Orcs and Eldar when he done the rules for Titans. So there are rules for them in AT. But as I said, until someone makes a decision to go, all right, okay, we're going to go with Xenos in there, because it's not as if they haven't got the air cover sorted with Aeronautica Imperialis, and everything is 3D rendered CAD designed, so they can downsize the kits or whatever. So it's something that they can do if they so wished. But they're only going to make it if the money for the heresy stuff starts to fall off. And they fancy pumping their luck with alien races. Just have to wait and see, unfortunately. Speaking of old style, apparently New Gene City Cult's Grotmus attachments allow you to play them alongside Tyranids, albeit with infiltration and scouting organisms. Yeah, allowing you to play some Mankind Xenos foes during the Great Crusade would be brilliant. You got to remember, there weren't a lot of Xenos left. That's why there's only really like Orcs and, you know, Eldar are the two main races. There might be a few others, but most other Xenos got wiped out. Once again, the times we're living in. Yeah, I'm not going to reward scalpers for paying their prices. Never reward scalpers for their prices. It's never. Because that's why they scalp. I would, personally, I would go down the route of, for decals, go to Scumbags for Customs. Because he's definitely got Legio Gryphonicus on file, because people have ordered them from him already, and it's a quick turnaround, reasonable and decent decals. So I would go Scumbag for Customs. I meant to say Grotmus Detachment earlier. If it was marketed as epic, more people would invest, but it's just HH. Well, that's the whole thing, though. Is HH? They had an entire book series as well, so they're tying it in with the successful book series as well. And you have HH and you have 40k. So the main sort of things, like, well, obviously 40k is the biggest, baddest, and sells more than everything else put together, admittedly. But they're milking it because people are still buying. To them, AT was a risk. When they first made AT, I was speaking with some of the guys at the Forge World Open Day, and they even said they didn't make a large batch of the Grandmaster box sets. And I just looked at them and went, why would you not? Because I knew, like, through my friends' contacts and all that there were people who were always saying, I'm going to have like 2-3 boxes, you know, even though the sort of, like, you know, pricing was like 180 quid. They were going, I want to have 2 to 3 boxes of those Titans, you know. And they underproduced. Even like, what's his Cursed City as well, they underproduced because they thought, oh, not many people are going to want it. They don't have their forecasting was well off, and then that has a knock-on effect. But then by the same token, if it doesn't sell, then they're lumbered with a fuck ton of boxes. But I've always said they will bring out Xenos for a modern day version of Titanicus. So you've got your Heresy, which is basically, the Heresy is like historical wargaming, you know. That's how I see it. And they will bring it out, but like with everything, you've also got like things like BFG. There's loads of people that want BFG, but again, do they go for it? Like things like Blood Bowl. Blood Bowl has been one of their most successful things because it's small teams, but they want to be buying more than just one team, so they've got continual support, and plus it's a popular game at Games Workshop anyway. And Necromunda gets more support than most other games because, again, it's a smaller scale game, you know, squad based, you know, combat patrol type of thing, or kill team even, but it doesn't have the higher percentage of models. But as I said, like Legions, we've now got our third faction, well, fourth faction technically, because we've also got Dark Mechanicum as well as Mechanicum, and Solar and Astartes. So there could be more there. Chaos. Although we haven't had any Chaos Titan kits, dedicated Titan kits come out, have we? So that would be interesting to get out of the office. Solar Auxilia is great, but they really need more regular Imperial Army units and Imperial Navy Armsmen and the likes for certain scenarios as well. Squats were around in 30k too. Yeah. On another note, did you see the new Heretic models for Necromunda? Yes. And again, Necromunda, great kits, great models, characterful. The new Epic would have to have 40k's, 30 factions, but 80 should have more than just Imperial forces, in my opinion. But again, setting, it is based on, you know, the massive battles of the Horus Heresy. So Eldar were in, you know, hiding. Orcs had been practically purged, for all intents and purposes, from the galaxy, although obviously they weren't, because they came back, because that's what they do. And that's what you have to think of, is, you know, there was no one else. I say Eldar was like hiding from, you know, the destruction of their empire and the creation of Slanesh. So, yeah. Yeah, it's the right scale. That's what they got. That's what they got right. Is basically they got all the scales, because that was the one thing they didn't get right in the original release, was that everything was off scale. And that's why you got those little chubby tanks and stuff, and didn't look quite right, because they rushed it and didn't, you know, do it properly. Evening, Engine Phil. Engine Phil, he comes here sweeping down like a torrential rain cloud of awesomeness, riding on his pony. That was an intro. Yeah, mate. My car's working. It went back in after your help last week with the picking up, dropping off, and all that sort of stuff. It sounded fine going home, and then I went to work the next day, and there was definitely some different noises coming out. And so I was driving Sam's car Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So yeah, it was something to do with the drive shaft. But as I said, driving home, it felt right driving home Wednesday night after you dropped us off. But it wasn't until I'd done the longer journey into work and that obviously just shook it up and that. And yeah, I messaged Mark, and he went, "What?" And I described the noises it was making and all that sort of thing. And he said, "Right, okay." And I said, "Look, I've left the car at home. I'm in Sam's car. The keys at home," sort of thing. And he went, "Right, he said about me picking him up on the way home from work, and then I got a call saying, "I've got my wife to drop us down there. Just let Sam know just to put the key underneath the visor so I can just jump in, jump out, and go." So yeah, he took that in Friday. Unfortunately, he doesn't work weekends, but he had a little look on the Saturday. Said I think it's the drive shaft because that's all he could find. That was wrong. Obviously, listening to the sounds and what was happening, and then he done it on Monday. Do, 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 do. Bring back the older robots. I'm all for bringing back all the robots. You know, like the Conqueror. Where's my Conqueror? Although that, I don't know, because obviously they changed them all. The Cataphract. What are you up to, Phil? You got into shenanigans again? Ouch, I had a new one fitted a few months back, but all fixed now. Yeah, it's all working nicely. Though I think he did mention that I think he got a slow puncher on one of the tyres. But that I can live with for the time being. Get Christmas out of the way. Just keep inflating the fucking thing. But yes. Yeah, I really need a model for that, yeah. Painting a Gorka Morkanaut. Nice. Oh, this for Titan Walks. Are you protecting orcs, are you? Standard basic foot soldier, so to speak, of the Legio Cybernetica. Yeah, because that's the whole thing with the heresy. I'm still kicking myself for not buying the prefect maniple when I had the chance. Yeah. No, they haven't rolled it into Aeronautica stuff into AT, although people do use AT for representing stratagems. So that's the whole thing. AT is purely for the Titan battles sort of thing. LI is for everything else. So if you want combined arms, you do LI. Because then you can actually use your AA mounts on your Titans, because you don't have the rules for AA mounts in AT. And yet you have them on your Titans. So reference picture. Could be for TOC. UUTs. Suppose if we're doing official colours, we've got to do it, I guess. I missed that little cable. That was ba, 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 ba. I play all Orc tribes, but this one's for my bad moons. You can use ground terrain, including AA turrets in Legions Imperialis, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because you actually have all the stuff. Not only do you have them on the Titans, but I mechanise the ones on my War Master. Yeah, so yeah, because with the War Master you had AA mounts or you had the siege mortars. So obviously they can be used. So I know from on good authority back when well, Engine Phil was with me, we were doing like a bit of a sort of play test at Warhammer World with LI Titans, because we are the Titan guys, and I believe I am officially the first person to kill a Titan using an AA mount. Because when we was like firing, and it's like, oh, I said, can you fire AA mounts in this? Yeah, you can shoot them. Really? And I shot a Legio Mortis Titan. And it died. So it's kind of like Second World War German 88. No, stop pointing at the sky. Bring it down low and shoot that Titan in the eye. Well, let me just blow this with the fan. Headrow. Hold on. Which is, I think, my record for dumbest use of magnets. So, old school War Griffins, huh? Well, yeah, I was looking up what Titan Legios to do. So, and old school War, it's the first Reaver was seen was a War Griffins one in Codex Titanicus, because you had the Warlord and you had that dude. And obviously, that dude is only armed with a missile pod and a power fist. It doesn't have a top mount. So I was going to leave that for the time being. I was just going to paint that, but I might just put a banner pole in it like that, because I've got some spare bits and pieces, because I thought I'm missing weapons. You'll start a trend. Incredible. The Imperial Guard's Hydra has suffered a bit in recent years, I think. But it's say like, that's the whole thing about LIs, that you're utilising troops, tanks, Titans, and aerial units. So having that as an option is always good. Or you just keep it simple and just go with some Titan bashing in AT. So rule sets are different, but the same models. So you can play 2 games, because you can field Titans in LI. You don't necessarily, I can't remember. I think you can just directly just field Titans. I know you've got the Titan Death supplement, which is Titan on Titans in LI, but you can just field Titans or Knights or whatever. So, yeah. What? Pardon me. Affinity the timey-wimey-limey. Greetings. And how are we today? Are you hobbying today? I just play Ally in 28. Yeah, well, that's what we do at the Titan Owner Club. Just with AT. Although there is, we can do it in, not as if we haven't got the boards and the scenery. And I'm sure that people have. Hey, Tom, have the troops. I know Emperor's Children wise, I've got like 15,000 points. But then I've also got my Mechanicum, which I haven't actually added that recently. So, my Mechanicum and Secretary Force. So, totally doable. Secretary models for LI would be nice. It's they are a wonderful little unit. My greatest ever game kill came at the hands of my Secretary Hoplites. Actually, Engine Phil was with me as well. We were doing the Fall of Cadia. We was asked to go down to our local Games Workshop store to participate in a monster, like apocalypse level game representing the Fall of Cadia. So Phil brought down a Warlord Titan, I brought down a Reaver Titan and 2 Warhounds and all of my House Tyrannus Knights. Another friend of mine brought down his armor cast Reaver and Warhound, and there was other people playing as well. So Iracundus took to the field alongside. Phil also had his House Tozer Knights with him as well, and basically I got targeted by a Dark Eldar player who first of all had Ravager ships, whatever they are, with like 9 disintegrators each, and 3 of them came through a portal right in front of where Iracundus was and fired into it repeatedly, aiming to strip the shields, which it did. Well, it took most of the shields down, and then it had a Revenant Titan come skipping over with its pulsars, I think they were. Yeah, pulsars. And it got the last shields down and then shot it with the pulsars, which luckily for me didn't do too much damage, because he rolled badly. But at the feet of Iracundus, there was a Stormlord, and embarked upon the Stormlord was 20 Secretary Hoplites, who then disembarked at close range to the Revenant, and they shot it with their arc spears, doing a total of 20 haywire attacks, and it basically lost all its hit points, it exploded, and then it backflipped from where it was standing into around about 2,000 points of Elder, which killed them all because it was D damage that they were taking, and I think Eldrad was amongst them. So that one unit of 20 hoplites took out an entire Elder force. There was like Wraith Knights in there, there was Walkers, there were aspect warriors aplenty. There was a lot, and all because they just done so much haywire damage to him. I'll still put it down as one of my greatest kills. The Secretary needs more dedicated vehicles, though. 15k in HH, I had that about my first Legion. About 50k for my Dark Angels. Yes. Yeah, I got rid of most of my 40k stuff a couple of years back, and that did actually fund me getting my last Reaver Titan in thingy, and paying for car repairs, services, car insurance, and some other bits and pieces. But yeah, so that's 15,000 in my Emperor's Children. I've also got Raven Guard armies. I've also got Thousand Suns armies. I've got my Mechanicum as well. I've got my Imperial Knights. I've got my Titans. Trying to think what else I've got. Because oh no, I sold them. Sorry. So I've got a lot of stuff. Like I say, my stuff that I sold for 40k, I had an entire company of Raptors Space Marines with their attendant vehicles and stuff. A rather large Tau cadre, which I had all the Forge World suits, but I had a Tauuna as well. That was beautiful. I love that Tauuna. And obviously the Yavara and Arvana, the XV9s, XV8s are plenty, broadsides, Barracuda, like the original Barracuda, and Remora drones, and then loads of tanks, loads of devilfish, loads of infantry, and all that sort of jazz. So, yeah, I've had a few, and they're the only ones I've really sold, and I miss them. But they went to a good home. Am I interested in more AdMech? Not at the moment, I'm not, because I've got. I try not to have a massive wall of grey shame, so I have got loads of Dystopian Wars stuff to be getting on with still. I've got loads of Armoured Clash stuff to be getting on with. I've got my BattleTech Kickstarter finally turned up as well, plus LI stuff and Titanica stuff as well. So at this current time, I've got more stuff in boxes than I've ever had at any point in my hobby career that is not painted. I've actually got a load of I've still got a lot of brand new in-box unopened like Space Marine tanks. Oh, I've also got a load of Alpha Legion as well. I forgot Alpha Legion. I've got my Alpha Legion dudes. Loads of stuff. Well, thank you for the offer. I'm okay at the moment. Hey, yeah, it's MZ. Hello, MZ. Good evening and happy birthday. Everybody wish MZ a happy birthday. I dare you. How have you had? I had a lovely day. I've got 2 boxes for Adbots to my first Legion. I have no interest in transports and infantry. Oh, the Trioris. Trioris are awesome. Just ram them into everything. Oh, thank you, Engine Fuel. I don't have a pile of shame. I have a collection of inflation deflection. Good name. Good name. Glass. doing good, thank you. How are you? Yeah, I'm okay. Just doing some ye olde painty for a change. Um, 2 hours ago, that was metal. It is literally 2 hours. It was about 10 to 8. I sprayed them. uh, so there's nothing like leaving it at last minute. Um, but yeah, did you have a lovely day? You know, I'm assuming that you've got lots of birthday cards from the girls and got some prezzies and stuff. The door's just opened. It's a bit weird. Tony asked what you thought of the Secret Level Space Marine episode. Well, it was nice to see some animation that is 40k centric. It wasn't an advert for a new box set. There wasn't much talking in it. And yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm easily pleased with that sort of thing. You know, we've got something. You know, I didn't mind Space Marine, to be honest with you, or Ultramarine, whatever it was called, because it was getting something done. It was getting an animation, but everyone bitched about it because yeah, it weren't great, but then it was experimenting with new technology, and yeah, it could have been better, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. Yes, lots of cards and prezzies. Nice. I thought he was good right up until the Marine ran through a truck and demolished it. Well, to be fair, Phil, he did have momentum on his side, and it's ceramite. And it's like that armor weighs like a ton. So you've got a ton of ceramite moving towards a moving vehicle. So, yeah. It was only a buggy anyway. Well, like a tank. And we know what the build quality of those alts are like. Knights are the only allies I'm interested in for my first Legion. I just wanted to save some money on the Phalanx cohorts and such, so I can take them without having allies. Phil is not so easily pleased. No. I enjoyed it. I'd have liked a little bit more yeah, it did. It wasn't like it. Honestly, it reminded me of this. Was it the second episode of The Mandalorian? Or was it the third episode of Mandalorian? There was an episode of Mandalorian when he's got Grogu, and he's walking for the first 10 minutes. There is no dialogue whatsoever, but you're just watching it. You're entranced by it. Yeah, there's a little gunfight in a canyon with some scavengers sort of thing, but you're just watching. You're there, and then you realise, oh my god, it's been 10 minutes and they've not said a word, and that's down to the acting. And obviously, you can't really do that in a cartoon as such, but you know, there was lots of shooting. My main gripe was that they dropped their shields almost immediately and never used them again. Nope. Secret level, I refuse to support Amazon. Secret level is great. We need more. Meanwhile, Amazon buys another 10 million acres of farmland. Yep. Well, again, that's Amazon for you. Does anything please you, Phil? Many things do, not stuff I can mention here, though. Oh my God. Will you behave, you tart? My God, Phil. I forgot what such a slut you are, Phil. Goddamn horn dog. Phil's alright. What I do? What haven't you done? Come on, Phil. All house on Ash. No, I'm not like that, fools. Trust your mind to get to the gutter. It's been treading water ever since you turned up. But if it's horny dogs you're into, don't mention it. Phil is such a disruptive influence, honestly. Yeah, what have you started as well? Yeah. On your birthday as well, honestly. It's all Phil's fault. The Eversaw Assassin will be dropping by shortly. I'm the most normal person here. Excuse me, miss, it wasn't me. You came on and said, what have I started? I'm here painting, you can't blame me. Phil, I've met you, you're far from normal. Got your number, mate. Right, okay. That's a Slanesh cult motto, Phil. I'm the most normal person here. All hail Slanesh! I didn't say I was normal. I said I was the most normal person here. break the phalanx out of stasis. Worst thing you could have done was actually claim that you were normal. We all know it's not true. Sorry, Phil, I disagree. Booba shaker. Oh, come now! Like Phil is lovely. Phil is lovely. I do give him dog's abuse, mostly because of his dog, my arch nemesis. Um, but Phil is a wonderful human being, and he does get a lot of abuse, deservedly, but he does get a lot of abuse. Probably hiding somewhere now. Of course, Phil is lovely until you get on the wrong side of him. Oh, I've never been on the wrong side of Phil. I want to know what you've done to be on the wrong side of Phil. What did you do to him? He seemed so sweet and innocent. A gunhound, perchance. It's a, was it a basset hound or something? Not basset hound. Beagle. That's what he's got. For some reason, he just doesn't like me. I don't know why. Only dog in the world. Only beagle in the world. I've met other beagles and they are fine with me. Ted hates me. And so I dislike him. Not hiding, just eating chocolate from my advent calendar. You should do that first thing in the morning, surely. I didn't do anything. And where's mine? Yeah, where's my chocolate? Yeah, share them out. Obviously, there's people here. There's like a whole 9 people here you've got to share out. Come on. Stingy chocolate boy. Cybermastiff's nasty calendar gunhound, not just a beagle, a beaglezilla. Oh yeah, he was getting a bit large last time I saw him. Phil's dog has to be better than mine. Lord Inquisitor doggo farts a lot. I don't share them out. You'll think I've dipped him in Rohypnol or something. So now we're definitely not going to ask for your chocolates. Don't know what we're going to do when we wake up. The janitors have been up to the old tricks again, have they? Especially when Phil's concerned. Right, I've got just remembered I had to do that little bit there, he says, which I'm not pointing to it because it's there. So I was just holding my breath there for a moment whilst doing some tricky edging. Stop it. Brass. How do you recognise a true Slaaneshi cultist? I don't know. Is it the fact that they've got claws and boobs everywhere? By the number of elder they've painted for she who's firsts. She's a thirsty gal. Well, the number of elder, I've only ever painted 500 elder. That's almost enough souls to summon a keeper of secrets. Got to pump those numbers up, Phil. Pommy. Get those numbers up, boy. What? I've not painted them since I had a choice. Well, you've always had a choice. You could have painted them whenever you wanted. You could have stuck around. You could have done all sorts of wondrous things with them. But you chose not to. So that's where we are so far. Which isn't too bad, I guess. Not when you was a red shirt on the original Star Trek series. Better start heading to bed. Merry Christmas and happy and safe New Year to you all. Thank you very much, Fion. Thank you for dropping in as well and for being an all-round good egg and welcoming people to the stream as well. It was very nice. Didn't have to do that, but you did, and that makes you a awesome chap. I couldn't think of anything else off the top of my head. So, awesome chap is it doesn't matter if you're male, female, or any other gender. You know, it covers all eventualities on this channel only, nowhere else. Good night and Merry Christmas to you all too. Good night and Merry Christmas to everyone else. I hope that the Omnissiah brings you everything that you wish for Christmas. Oh, if only the camera worked. Damn you, camera. Damn you. Well, I'm sure I'll take pictures of this anyway and be posting them up and stuff. But yeah, it's oh, that's what we've got to do. Last part, really. It's not 100% finished, but I'd say no. I don't think so. I checked on the things before. It's just hold on a sec. Let's have a look. All right. Oh, what do you know? So, woo! This will get more. Ah, hello, Master Mouse. How are we? Right, let's try. That's better. Well, it was better for about 30 seconds, if that. And that's with autofocus on. So let's go back into that again. Why are you not letting me do it? There you are. There you go. Oh, I'll play a bit. No, I can't get rid of the bloody shift off. Oh, right, there it's gone. Ah, God damn it. Well, I've had enough. Right, that was an interesting 5 minutes viewing for you all. I'm sorry about that. Just trying to make this thing work. Why is the Reaver so tiny? We want big stompy mechs. It should have been here earlier on, Master Mouse, because JS asked for a size comparison between that and a modern day AT Reaver. And this is what we got. Can't, says I've mucked about, you can't even get it onto the screen. There you go. So it's like lower hips comes into compared to Eurocundus. Wow. Well, it's coming up to the 1/2 of the 10, and I'm done for tonight. I'm all tired out. It's been a long day, and we got a Reaver Titan pretty much done. I'd say 35%, 90% being stingy, I guess, in some respects. I don't know. It's needs a bit more stippling done on the greys, and try and just tidy up here, there, and everywhere. So the thing is, with these older models, they're so much smaller. You've got a lot to piddle about with, and try and make look interesting, especially when you're using the same old colour schemes as well. So it's tidy up time for this dude in particular. But for the most part, as a tribute to the original photograph, I'm pretty sorry, I'm pretty pleased with it, to be fair. There he goes. Just needs a huge banner. Yeah, so I have got a banner pole there, and I can do some bannering for it. So we'll give that a go. Why is the new Reaver tiny? Oh yeah, we've done that. Good night, Lee. Good night, Engine Phil. Thank you for dropping in. It's lovely to have you here, darling. And yeah, so streams coming up. So Saturday, I am not about. I am having to look after the kids, so I won't be doing any hobbying this weekend. Thanks for showcasing the Itty Bitty Reaver committee. Take care, everyone. Have a great night. Yeah, thank you very much for coming in, JS. Thank you for your input and your questions. And we will see you again soon. Obviously, next week, Christmas. I know, on our stream night. It's sickening. I'll see. I'll do a stream, but again, my Christmas and kids and stuff, so I've got so much time wasted not hobbying coming up, which is unusual. I might even pop it on Christmas Day. Depends on what's going on in the world. But if I do, it'll be there. If you're about, drop in. But right, okay. Thank you very much, everyone who's come to hang out this evening. We got a War Griffins dude done. I'm gonna have a look, see what else I can do with it, and I hope you have a great rest of the week and an awesome weekend. Hopefully I'll see you before Christmas. If I don't, Merry Christmas, everybody, and a Happy New Year as well. But I'll see you before the New Year, definitely. So have fun, and I hope Santa brings you all the wonderful things that you all wish for. So until next time, happy hobbying, everyone, and peace out from me. Take care. Bye.